Hey guys, hope you're all doing well out there. Just wanted to share a brief message about what's going on right now in Maui, and just from a psychic mediumship perspective, I've predicted several world events already, namely world events related to politicians, political leaders overseas, as well as in our own country and within Hollywood. So that tends to be the messages that I pick up, but of course there are messages that have come through regarding what has recently happened in Maui, and I want to just talk about that really briefly. Please only take what resonates. You are entitled to your opinion, as I am entitled to my professional perspective as a psychic medium. The fires in Maui were not due to environmental or global warming efforts. They were purposeful. And there are a number of reasons why that is. This has nothing to do with environmentalism. It had nothing to do with wind brushing up on those trees, because I guarantee you that wind has been going around that entire state for so long, and this is the first large fire that we've heard, okay? Second, obviously tapping in, this was an attack by the elites because they're actually trying to turn Hawaii into a smart city. And I've talked about this in my recent Ascension update, that there are going to be targeted cities around the US that will go through similar experiences, potentially not a huge fire, but to change it to a different kind of city, to make it into a smart city, so that way the billionaires can invest their money, which there's nothing wrong with smart cities, but there's more control. Think drones flying around like the movies. That's the goal, right? We're talking Handmaid's Tale. Obviously it's going to take some time for that kind of direction to happen, but you can think of it like the Chicago fire, right? Chicago, the buildings in Chicago, when you look it up, it did not look like the United States of America, even though obviously it was. All of Chicago literally had buildings that looked like Europe, that basically looked like some of the buildings that you still see in Washington, D.C. today. The Chicago fire happened, and they say that it was accidental, but it was actually to remove the operating buildings in Chicago that could operate its own electricity, basically because of the mapping of those buildings. Also, there was a lot of secrets and sort of hidden information from Nikola Tesla, from the people that he worked with, as well, about free energy and access to free energy that these buildings sort of represented. So the Maui Fire is similar. There's a lot of history in Maui. Ancient-wise, it's a connection with Atlantis and Lemuria, which are two ancient civilizations that actually have its roots with free energy, with a peaceful, free society where money does not hold the same capacity as it does in this capitalist system that we see today, no matter what country you live in, right? It was sort of a trade and barter society. There was equality, and at some point, corruption came and decided to take away these free rights, and that's sort of the beginning of government, of power, of, I should say, power-hungry individuals who thought that it would be better to control groups of people rather than to allow this sense of freedom and peace in society. What gain do they get? Obviously, they get the control, they get the power, they get more money. So there's pros for them, there's not as much pros for us. And so it's important to think critically for yourself right now, to take everything that you see and watch, especially even from my video, with a grain of salt. Make sure you educate yourself, and I really want to encourage you all to make sure you educate yourself with the perspectives of the people from those places, because that's where you're going to find the real news. That's where you're going to find the stories of people who are living in those places. I mean, why do you think the United States government, out of all the issues that they could have actually spent time focusing on, tries so hard to ban TikTok in the US? It's because people in the US, and not just in the US, around the world, are speaking out about their firsthand experience from what they experienced right then and there. And so I just want to encourage you guys, we do live in a world where, I should say, this is a creation where the light is destined to win, but you also have to keep in mind that there's still two sides of every coin. There is dark, power-hungry people on this planet that don't want to see humanity win. They don't want to see humanity rise. Why do you think there's an attack on children and it's not as publicly talked about on the news as much as it should be, right? And in the movie, Sound of Freedom is a fraction of what should actually happen with this issue. So my point is, you need to think for yourself, because the things are not adding up anymore. You know what I mean? Like, things are not adding up. And so we have to start to realize that, it's not about, I should say this, it's not about really inserting yourself and feeling like you're going to attract negativity, if you keep yourself educated on what's going on and keep yourself critically thinking to question things. You should be questioning things. There is nothing wrong with questioning what is going on. It doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist. It actually makes you intelligent, because when you question things, it means that you're wanting and willing to think for yourself. You're willing to step beyond the boundaries of the limitations that governments, that governing bodies, that other people outside of you try to place on you. So you have to think for yourself. And the situation with Maui is not just a targeted environmental attack. It's not just a lie about environmentalism. It's literally an attack on something that happened in ancient history and is happening again. Now, with this fire in Maui, a lot of lives were lost. A lot of children's lives were lost. And it's very interesting that, you know, Oprah is showing up, handing out water bottles, and says that she's going to donate when the time comes. If you're a billionaire, I'm sorry, but you can donate right then and there. You don't need to just be handing out water bottles, you know? And it's like, I don't want to knock anyone down here, because obviously these people are very successful, but they're also people that don't have the best interests in mind, you guys. And it's so important to stop looking at the status that people have and start realizing that there are really wealthy people out there, really successful people out there who have books, who have podcasts, who have their name everywhere, that people know them. There's a legacy that they've created, but they're still not good people. They're corrupt. They don't have humanity's best interests in mind. And when you see Oprah and Jeff Bezos' houses in Maui not even burned down, you start to question, which is the whole point. You need to question what's happening. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be attracting negativity in your life, because if you believe that questioning things and looking into what other people might perceive as conspiracy theory is going to bring negativity in your life, you have not worked on yourself enough, and you have not mastered your own energy. It's important to educate yourself and understand what's going on, and situations like these are going to keep happening. I don't necessarily believe that it's fires, but I do believe that they are going to continue to push the narrative about the environment. And you know, I just want to remind you all, if there's so much money in the world, billions of dollars, it's literally something that can just be printed. Why are we facing issues with environmentalism? There's more than enough money to go around to build more solar powered roofs, to actually reverse the quote unquote environmental clock of global warming that has been placed on humanity. Okay? I'm not saying that Earth has not been harmed. I'm not saying that we need to we shouldn't take better care of our planet. We have to take better care of our planet, obviously. We have to start asking ourselves, you know, what's not working? Like, where is the money going? There is so much money being funneled into wars and not people in the United States. These basic issues still have not been solved. And you're like, oh no, but it's so much more complicated. No, it's not. Money can solve everything. And the fact that the president is only sending $700 once to the people of Maui says a lot. If it doesn't say a lot to you, and if you're not questioning what's going on, it's time to wake up, because the clock is ticking. Hopefully this video doesn't come out as harsh. Please don't take offense to anything I've said. I'm just sharing from my heart and what I've been guided to share about what exactly is going on. Because while I've mentioned several issues in this video, what's happening in Maui is a repetitive pattern of all of these other social justice issues. Okay? It's important for us to open our eyes, even the awakened ones, even the ascending ones, okay? Even myself. Every single day I see things in the headlines and I'm in shock, and that's okay, even though I know what I know, because there's so much proof and you have people on the site actually sharing their real experience. I still get surprised that something like this is happening, because it's shocking that that could happen. It is very devastating. So many lives are lost. People are going through this experience on the earth, and you have to take a step back, identify and become aware of your privilege, and at the same time critically think for yourself. This video was recorded through Instagram video, so I apologize for the broken up messages. I hope that this resonates with some people out there, or speaks to someone's soul about what exactly is going on, and this clock, this divine clock that is now being pushed on the planet. While I do think that this Maui fire is related to power-hungry, I'll say, I'm being told this, opposition, so governing oppositions on the earth who, want to control humanity, want to put certain greed, power-hungry initiatives in place, and the only way they can do that is by wiping out an entire city. I still also believe that the Creator has his hand on the earth, okay? The divine has its hand on all of us, and so we don't really need to worry. We just need to become aware. If you'd like to book a psychic reading, you can do so through my calendar in my link in bio. I will not DM you, and I will never email you, and I send you all so much love and light. And until next time, collective, go and grow.